Alright, welcome back, folks. Let's try it again from the diaphragm. If it gives us more issues, you know, we might have to select a different game or something, or call it a night, I don't know. We have kept track of your donations, so don't worry, we are gonna call them out, we're good on that front. But, let's go ahead and give this the old college. In fact, let's go ahead and play the intro. Just for extra luck, shall we? Alright, gang, let's go ahead and give this the old junior college try once more. Oops, hold on. Go the fuck away. No thanks, go away. We will go ahead and... we just need to give it a little bit more TLC.
Yeah.
Just need to be a little more careful, I think. Right off the bat, we need to change the volume before we do anything. And, yeah, let's go ahead and try that. Thank you for those of you who've been patient with us.
To your ancestors.
Whoops. No, hold on. It fucked up again.
Did it?
Check if it's actually streaming the game. I think something popped up at the last fucking minute to fuck it up.
We're getting there. Hold on.
Okay, we're good. Alright. Well, this is where it died on us last time. Okay. Quick save. Now we remember where the quick save is. Oh. Okay, sorry about that, gang. This is an old game. You know, can be a little bit of a bitch. And it is Jimmy rigged, because this is, I think it's the goodoldgames.com version. So, there's a lot of bullshit going on behind the scenes to get this game to run on a modern system.
Look out!
I mean, I have my original disc copy of this game, and let me tell you, it's impossible. On a modern system, impossible to get running.
Let's see. Kami no Yoni says, Karen, what does Razor think about the developing situation in South Africa?
Jesus Christ.
I know.
A literal white genocide. A literal white genocide, and I mean, it's basically... it's basically like what history books will say about, like, Jewish people being used as scapegoats, only instead of Jewish people, it's white people, and we're pretending that it's not a genocide. That's basically what's going on. Because black people can't be racist, apparently. That's how that goes. Being forced off their land, government commandeering their fucking land. I mean, are you fucking kidding me?
And politicians holding rallies openly saying, yeah, we're gonna just kill them.
Yeah!
I mean, it's not even like...
oh my god, a Gamorrean guard.
Jesus.
Oh, right in the blubber. Suck it, Sterling. Oh, and he went down the pit! Oh my god.
John Smith says, Assange says that...
That's for giving Catherine a 10 out of 10.
He says, Assange says that more than half of the Democratic candidates for 2018 are intelligence agents.
What?
Interesting, if true.
Well, you know, there's a lot of bullshit going on with you. It's hilarious to think of how far down the rabbit hole the Democrats have gone from the days of Clinton, where Clinton didn't trust the CIA or the FBI or any of those agencies. I can't believe I died there. I need to pay attention to my health. Whoa, that's why. I have no health. Back to tank. it's interesting to think of how far they've come. Because Bill Clinton did not trust the CIA at all. In fact, that's one of the large reasons why 9/11 happened. He was handed... The Saudis approached the CIA and say, hey, we want to get this Osama bin Laden guy the fuck out of our country. Do you want him? We've apprehended him. And because the CIA were the intermediaries, he was like, fuck it, I don't trust you.
Look out!
So he was handed Osama bin Laden on a silver platter and said, nah, I'll go ahead and pass. Just because, basically, he didn't trust the CIA.
They thought maybe they'd set him up.
Or, you know, something like that. They thought it was some kind of maybe he thought it was some kind of power play, or who knows.
Oops, we accidentally assassinated a candidate that there was going to be leader or something, you know.
Who knows, but either way, like, that was a large reason why 9/11 happened. Ugh. And now the Democrats are like the party of the CIA. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that because Bill Clinton didn't trust them, he replaced a lot of key figures at the CIA with, you know, basically Democrat Party operatives. And now you've got this culture between the Bush years and the Clinton years, and then, of course, the Obama years, certainly, where basically, oh my god, where basically the intelligence agencies have become an organ of the Democratic Party.
Watch out now.
Whoa! That's like a one-hit kill!
Please don't hurt
Thank
me.
God I saved.
Zany Boy
Jesus
says...
Christ, that's crazy. That's some Dark Souls shit right there. I'll have to use a thermal detonator.
Hey Razor, are there any other episodes of the Shadow Radio Show that you would recommend?
I don't know what I recommended before. I would recommend an episode called Voodoo is really good. I would, if a little racist, I would recommend an episode called The Laughing Corpse. That's an episode that basically, like, Joker ripped off. It has this laughing toxin that, you know, basically people's faces twist into a crazy fucking grin, and then they die. They go rigid from rigor mortis. You know, fucking DC Comics stole that whole cloth. And it's a really good, creepy episode, too.
War Game says, do you believe in separating the art from the artist? If so, what are your thoughts on Graveland and Nocturnal Mortal?
I'm not really a fan of either. Just because their music kind of sucks, honestly. I don't really care about the politics or Rob Darkin fucking LARPing in the woods. I don't really care about any of that. It's mostly just I think the bands suck, personally.
And he says, keep the Vit alive, brother?
Cult.
Oh. Joss Ricketts says,
Jesus.
I miss cheesy FMV in video games.
I do too. It's something, honestly, it's an option. If you do it right, I don't see why you couldn't put it in a game today. You know, video games are trying to be movies so bad anyway, like, what the fuck? Just spend some extra money, make sure they're good. You spend at least as much doing your fucking, mocap and casting
You forgot your fortune.
big league Hollywood actors to do all that.
Another fortune cookie coming in.
You're shit out of luck.
Can't wait till I get some Jedi powers going on here. Okay, quick save. Okay, we're doing better this time.
Let's skip right to that big donation. The Major Spike 9000 donated $50. Dude, thank you so much. My condolences for the Cali refugees in Arizona. On the plus side, I give preemptive congratulations to Arizona on setting up the world record for fastest curb stomp on a neo-commie revolution. On a serious note, what does the future hold for California?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, you would really have to look... Unfortunately, I can't think of any precedent. That's not true. Well, look at Detroit. Look at what's going on in Chicago right now. Chicago and Detroit made the same call. And by the way, Chicago's headed for where Detroit is. That is a mathematical fact. People calling that hyperbole are huffing their own fucking farts. Chicago will look like Detroit in 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Because of what they're...
sooner.
Detroit made a call a long time ago that they wanted big money liberals more than they wanted a middle class. They made that decision. Okay. Where is my thermal detonator? Aha!
Nice shot.
Good shit. And the problem is, if you ship out your middle class, you know, that's the backbone. That's the... I've said this about to use a wrestling analogy. WWE have... They basically, when they went PG, it's strange, like... They kind of have a niche audience that's like hardcore, but at the same time, it's a very casual audience in a weird way. WWE went after the casual audience at the expense of their genuine base, so they've kind of changed their base, and their current base doesn't have as much money. It's like if you built a fucking house on top of a hill and then started eroding the sides of the hill until it looks like a fucking apple core. Eventually that fucking thing's gonna fall because your column of support has been eroded. It winds up looking like a fucking bird bath. That's what happened in Detroit, and it's what's happening actively in Chicago. And tourism money or not, Detroit hasn't had a lot of tourism. Chicago has a ton of tourism. It's not going to save them. I mean, you're basically going to wind up in a situation where California is just one giant theme park. People are only going to come there to go to fucking Disneyland and Universal Studios, and honestly, they're halfway there already.
Let's continue. Oh, he continued, FMV in games. Well, did that actually come from FMV in games?
What?
He continues Jedi Knight, Red Alert, and Tex Murphy. By the way, did you play any Tex Murphy? It's kind of like a comedy noir combination.
Yeah, totally. I have Under a Killing Moon, which is a great game.
Metalhead Martyr says, so a sex scene with a fucking fishman beats an awesome war movie about the events of Dunkirk at the Oscars. I've never vomited so much.
Well, if the movie about the Battle of Dunkirk had been made by a minority, it would be a little different. How do you... Can I jump on top of that?
And people are suggesting if you shoot some of the containers, they will drop stuff.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I can jump on top of that. I think I have to go up higher. I don't think my jump is going to get me on top of that crate.
Fellow Taffer says, I asked these questions last week, but I didn't get to watch the stream. So what would you consider Obsidian's best game?
Probably Alpha Protocol. I really like Alpha Protocol.
He gives some suggestions. Fallout 1 and 2 or Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I think we said Baldur's Gate, didn't we?
Yeah, I like Baldur's Gate.
What exactly did DS9 rip off from Babylon 5?
Nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. I think the biggest coincidence and the biggest like eyebrow raising, maybe they ripped them off thing, is they had two characters. Both shows had characters named Ducat. It wasn't spelled the same though, and the characters weren't the same. They didn't do the same thing. And I don't think Ducat was a regular on Babylon 5. But you know, I've talked about this before, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit the timeline at all. Because, hold on, let me see if I can. No, I can't. I know there's a pause button in this game. Whoa, there we go. Okay, let's see if we can get the fuck up here. This level design kicks ass. Really does. Whoa, not into the laser grid. Okay.
Joss Ricketts says,
Jump across here? Okay. But no, it doesn't, the timeline on doesn't make sense. It couldn't possibly have been ripped off because, as I've said many a time, the person who pitched DS9 and, more importantly, pitched the idea of it being the riflemen in space, meaning they stay stationary in space. Originally it was going to be a space colony, then it became a space station, was a guy by the name of Brandon Tartikoff, who was the CEO of Paramount Television in the early 90s. It was the first thing he pitched, literally the very first thing he pitched. And did I fuck myself? I don't know. Yeah, I think I did. It was the very first thing he pitched, and he said, he basically said it needs to just not be on on an actual starship, and it needs to stay in place. Originally, it was going to be like a floating colony on a planet, and then it became a space station embedded in an asteroid. Then it became a full-blown space station. And all that was in the first, like, iterative phase of pitching DS9. He pitched this in 1992 or 1993 when he became the CEO of Paramount Television. And Straczynski claims he pitched Babylon 5 to Paramount Television. Actually, he pitched it to WB, who were sharing a space with Paramount in the late 80s. And he claims that he made this pitch in either 87 or 89. And therefore, they must have stolen his pitch for Babylon 5. Here's the problem. Brandon Tartikoff, the guy we've just established, pitched DS9 and pitched the idea of it being the rifleman in space, did not work for Paramount in 1987 or 89. He only became CEO in 1992 or 3. So, again, he was actually, not only did he not work for Paramount, he worked for their competition. He worked for NBC at the time. He was working on Miami Vice. So again, unless he can bend the fabric of time and space, unless he could be in two places at once, unless he's omnipotent and can listen in on conversations for companies he doesn't fucking work for, he couldn't have stolen Deep Space Nine. And I don't know why nobody else makes this fucking connection. And then there's other incidental, indications that it wasn't ripped off, like the fact that J. Michael Hakinski could have sued Paramount years ago because Paramount has been in dire financial straits for a long time. If he wanted to sue, he could win easy because they're fucking low-hanging fruit. But he's never done it. He's never so much as pursued it. He hasn't even teased doing it. He hasn't even gone as far as Michael Moorcock has gone with the whole Witcher plagiarism stuff, where he actually talked to his lawyer and shit. Straczynski's never done any of that. I think I have to go here. Yeah, that's right. No, I need to go down the other one, actually. Shit! Yeah, okay, I see where I need to go. Alright. Very labyrinthine!
Joss Ricketts says, best and worst Stallone movie.
Best Stallone movie is Cobra, to me. Worst Stallone movie is probably one of the really bad Rocky sequels. What was the worst Rocky sequel?
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, one of those.
Or that first movie he did, the Italian Stallion or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, the softcore porno.
Henri Sorel.
He was in what was that action movie he was in? Early on. He was just like a henchman.
Oh god, I don't know.
Fuck. What was it?
Stop, or my mom will shoot. I remember that one. I thought that was actually funny. It had, what's her name in it? The Golden Girl, right?
I don't know.
Henri Sorel says,
I think it won't. I need to hit the switch.
Oh, that's great. Mace didn't do. Uses a lightsaber form based on aggression. Has a lightsaber hilt inlaid with electrum. Hold on.
Shit.
Inlaid with electrum and other bling, and got literally disarmed and cut down by law enforcement. It's like pottery.
Poetry.
Well, I'm sure he meant poetry. I guess he's watching on a phone. Or she.
Man, that is...
Sorry, I assumed your gender. Not really. Catch yourself white power says.
Glory to the founders.
Hey guys,
Wait, there need to be more DS9 games.
thoughts on America?
By the way, the entire cast is still alive.
Yeah.
You could make a DS9 game now. They wouldn't... They don't have to age in digital land. And by the way, most of them have aged really well anyway.
Elite Force 3.
Cisco still looks like Cisco. Kira has aged incredibly well. So is Terry Farrell, for Christ's sake. She hasn't aged a day. They all look great. They all look like their characters still. But yeah, I'd say make a new game. Make a new DS9 game.
Except for Odo. I mean, but then again, I mean, he
would be wearing makeup.
Yeah. So would Garrett.
Well, I don't know, dude. He looked like that in the 90s. That's the thing. And Gul Dukat, people are like, oh my god, Gul Dukat, he aged so much. It's like, what? He looked look at some of his behind-the-scenes photos in the early 90s, man. He's looked like that since the 90s. Dude's always looked old. He was old when he was young.
Anyway,
that's just Gul Dukat.
Ketracel says, "Hey guys, thoughts on American journalist and YouTuber Brittany Pettibone being illegally detained in London?
Oh my
Godspeed.
God, what a
Can
bunch
you
of
believe
horse
that
shit.
shit? They detained them before anything happened, just because they have Europe first,
Well, what
leanings,
happened is that there was a precedent set. I think it was in 2008, 2009, might be 2010 actually, where there's a conservative talk radio host named Michael Savage, and they put him on basically a British no-fly list. He's not able to come into the country. They just banned him because of... They never really gave a reason. They said just he's a hate monger, basically, is what they said. Now, this is like the #3 talk radio host in the entire country. It's like Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, and him, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty mainstream guy. He's kind of the Howard Stern of conservative talk radio. But, yeah, they're basically arguing that he's Hitler or something, so he can't come into the country. And I remember at the time, Michael Savage said something to the effect of, guys, even if you don't like me, this is setting a precedent so that they can do this to any conservative. You get that, right? And the UK did jack shit about it. And here we are.
Yeah. I see
we are.
all the news coming out of the UK, plus this shit. I mean, they're becoming a George Orwell nightmare.
They really are. Well,
every fucking day.
Fucking in London, CCTV cameras, and this was an estimate from 2004, so it's way more now.
I
but CCTV cameras outnumber people 10 to 1. Again, that was in 2004, so imagine how much that's proliferated since.
And then I hear that fucking mayor of theirs, you know who. He's shutting down, like... Whoa. I'm sure you guys in the chat can correct me. Is it somewhere, something like 100 police stations or some shit? Like, I didn't even know they had that many.
Yeah.
It's probably less than that.
Hey, look! The fucking droid from, whatever the fuck, from the Cloud City. Oh. Forget that droid's name. What's going on here? Oh, she's opening!
People are suggesting a quick save.
Yeah, let's do that. Alright. See this fucking level design, though? I already got lost once. Alright, let's go first person. This was also one of the first shooters that I remember that did auto-aim a little bit. That's a feature fucking everyone from GTA to Call of Duty and everything has stolen. Basically, it's aiding you in hitting the enemy.
Yeah.
You can turn it off, by the way. I'm just lazy.
That's a Doom thing, too.
It's also a Doom thing, yeah.
John Home. Oh, he donated $25. Thank you, sir. Been a fan since your election day rant. Keep up the good work. By the way, I jokingly referenced
Whoa.
Mortiferous last stream, but I'm genuinely curious about your music past, if you'd be willing to indulge.
I started out, my first band was like a thrash punk power violence kind of band back in the day. So I got into metal basically through punk. And then the punk band turned into a black metal band. And then I did kind of a traditional metal band for a little while. And that's kind of where I am now. When that ended, I haven't been in a band since then.
Oh, was that it?
That was it.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, I see. Okay, I need to get across there. God, look at this level design, though.
Yeah.
You actually have to climb up giant fucking space crates to get across. This is just... Fucking level design is killer. You can see why this won a bunch of fucking Game of the Year awards.
John says, favorite Star Wars robot? Mine is HK-47.
Oh, man.
Everyone's is HK-47.
I like Forlong, personally.
Really?
Yeah, the bounty hunter.
Okay. Is he the assassin droid?
Yeah, he's like a protocol droid that got converted into assassin droid.
Okay.
I believe I have an action figure of him.
Love.
And of course, IG-88 is great.
Love is like a sniper rifle.
Oh!
I fucking love that line. Let's see.
Meat bag.
DK Unit says, opinions on
Flake.
what you've seen of Soul Calibur 6.
I haven't seen much, except, boy, did I ever call the Ivy controversy. I was like, oh my god. Because if you guys remember when Soul Calibur 5 came out, and they did the ad campaign with Ivy's tits.
Yeah.
On the
they brought
poster.
them back, by the way.
When they did that, I was like, there was like a small controversy. That was just when Sarkeesian was first starting. Small controversy, and I was like, it was stupid then. And I was like, oh man, this is... I can only imagine in 2018 what a colossal goat fuck this is gonna be. And I was correct. Oh my god. Jesus. How about that?
Don't fuck it up. There you go.
Jeez.
Coriolanus
No! You can't leave me. Oh,
Rex.
fuck.
Save.
I already did.
Okay. Coriolanus Rex says,
Thanks, Mom.
hopes and concerns for Cyberpunk 2077.
If you heard those stories from the ex-employees from
Yeah.
CD Projekt about that project in particular, and you're not concerned, you are a far more trusting soul than I am. They didn't have, and some of these reviews are from less than a year ago, that they still have no idea what the game is. That's pretty crazy, because that game was announced in, what, 2012? That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts.
Ace.
It seems like, you know what it reminds me of? And this is not a compliment. Thief 4.
Oh, God.
Where we suddenly got those reports out of Eidos Montreal that there was infighting and they had just fired the entire team and replaced them. And nobody really knows what the game needs to be. And like all this very fucking shades of Thief 4. Oh my god. Oh my god. Am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do this? Holy shit. Holy
Careful.
shit. Holy shit. Oh yeah! This game rules.
Asim Jessen
Fucking
adds to our previous question. If you want to see the true extent of control and capitulation over UK from the city dwellers, look into TV licenses and new energy drink
Oh,
laws.
I know all about the TV licenses.
You need a fucking license for everything.
Ugh. Perfect example of why you have to be really careful with permits and licenses and, you know, because it's a very slippery slope. There's something over there. Can I get that?
I recently...
Am I gonna be fucking stranded if I do that?
I recently rewatched one of Spoonie's vids about Cyberpunk, and my god, the extent of shit that they would have to put in that game, I don't know if they can do it. I mean, shit, I mean, they've been working on it for, what, 5 years now? Off and on?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they can do it, but I don't know. It feels like I'm being set up for disappointment.
It definitely, like I said, the moment I got Thief 4 flashbacks from some of the developer statements, I was like, you know what? I think I am transitioning from hopeful to cautious optimism. I do believe that is the prudent course. Okay, come on. Man. It's funny because I believe Shadows of the Empire tried to do a level like this, and it was just nowhere near as complex. There we go.
The King Who Cared asks, whoever listened to the Hooters, specifically All You Zombies?
Nope.
Also, what do you think about the DUP, if you ever heard of them?
I don't know what that is.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
Rybrent Man for the Win says, why weren't you a big fan of Jedi Outcast?
Because it casualized the fuck out of this game. You can see already how complex the levels are and how huge they are and like all this. It's nuts. It's like this game was kind of unprecedented in its depth. But Jedi Outcast kind of casualized all that. It made the levels a lot smaller. It pared down the number of Jedi powers pretty dramatically. I'm not that crazy about how it controls. And they kind of stole a bunch of gameplay in Jedi Outcast from a fan-made mod for this game called Saber Battle X. I'll have to install that at some point and show you guys how similar Saber Battle X is to Jedi Outcast. Now, I don't know if they hired that guy. I forget what his name was. Ninja or... I forget that guy's name. I was actually friends with him on MSN Gaming Zone, but if they didn't pay that guy, then that's really fucked up, because they basically stole his game. Because that's what Jedi Outcast is, and that's what Jedi Academy wound up being, where your character could front flip or back flip, and you could do, like, even they stole some of the moves that you could do with the lightsaber. The fuck? The fuck? Am I fucked? Am I screwed? No, it's timed, thank God.
So were you pretty much done with that?
Yeah.
Alright.
And that's why. It felt like it kind of streamlined the experience a bit too much without any of the depth of Saber Battle X. Whoa, you just dropped a thermal detonator on my ass. You shithead. What are they called? Aqualesh?
I forget.
I forget what they're called.
Helicopter Kit says,
I always forget the three-headed aliens.
all these so-called conservatives on TV and radio are using the fear-mongering button calling for the blue wave in 2018.
And they're full of shit.
What say you? I guess you say.
You notice it's all the same guys who are pissed about Trump's tariffs? Notice that?
They're called the Grand.
The Gran?
Yeah, Grand.
No. Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
The species, that is. But go on about Trump's tariffs.
Time to get you patched up.
Hey, we should have a purple-haired bitch crash into that thing. It'll...
What? Aqualish have the tusks.
Right.
They're the squids.
You can't be an Asian woman! This game does not exist!
Well, according to Disney, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, no shit.
Motherfuckers.
He's dreaming about Arizona.
Oh, that's a good one. Admiral Catfish says Cyberpunk is the Polish Star Citizen.
Ooh. I don't know about that.
Your path is at a moment of change. Jarek, the man who murdered your father, is a great evil. He searches for the location of a sacred place, the Valley of the Jedi. A force of thousands of Jedi is trapped here. If Jarek captures this power, he will be a creature such as the universe has never seen. A supernova of stars in a fleeting thought. The eradication of life from a star system in a whisper will be within his power. Your father gave his life to protect this power, and now it is a place your destiny must take you.
What is that accent?
The disc you have in your possession will lead you to the ways of the
Fucking
Jedi.
space Morgan Freeman.
Remember, it will be your path.
Cal Katarn was a tall drink of water.
I still can't get over Mace didn't
Well,
do.
your blessed ship is going to be in the repair bay.
Jan Ors crawled through 45 miles of the worst, foulest feculence you could ever see.
I owe you.
You mean 45
You're not going
parsecs?
after
Right.
Jedi, are you?
No. I'm going back to my father's home in Sulan. Can you meet me there?
It's a union. It's a unit of time. What are you talking about?
Is
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
okay?
I don't know. I'll find out when I get there.
That wasn't awkward. Nice dissolve.
Yeah, was that a dissolve? That's heresy. It should have been a wipe.
Uh-huh. The fuck? Oh, that gorgeous John Williams score.
That was the last of them.
Now what do we do?
8088 will decipher them at Baron's head.
Buck!
I like how they actually typed out
Yeah.
his monosyllabic utterance.
My God, did you
They
see
should-
the pixels on that?
They should name the other henchman Bagok. Alright.
Got a cocky laser blaster.
Yeah, there we go. Now this, I believe, is the first mission. Well, right after this, I believe. Oh, tell me it's a bowcaster. Yes! My favorite gun in the Star Wars universe. Being a massive Chewbacca mark.
Field of Bears says, if a commie and a pedo are drowning, and you have plenty of time to save both, how much higher do you fly so the next sec dies on impact?
No, where's my bowcaster?
What, did you run out of ammo?
Yeah, they take a lot of ammo.
Ah.
Where's it at? There we go! And where's the alternate fire? Yeah, it'll ricochet. Ricochet.
Someone says shoot the wall, there's a secret.
Oh, which wall? You're right. You're absolutely right. I remember this.
Oh!
I remember this. My childhood memories are flooding back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, Uncle! Why did you touch me that way? Sorry.
Ace, Justin, that's pretty good.
What's up?
When will we meet the Alex Jones droid? 7T76.
1776 will commence again!
David Hogg looks like he's seen a dick up close.
My favorite Star Wars droid is IG-88's racist brother 1488.
Ah!
There we go. Can we get in here?
Dennis Head says, best or at least worst video game movie. I would say Silent Hill.
This looks interesting.
Yeah, probably Silent Hill. The first Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We do have a light.
And worst would be the sequel. Revolitans.
Oh, God. You mean 3D?
Yeah.
Where they turn Vincent into a teenage love interest? Oh, that fucking movie is a mess. Did I just hear a missile launcher? Is that what I heard? I thought I heard a missile launcher. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks.
Filipino white boy says, would Yingwei's Spellbound have sounded better if it were sung by Jeff S. Soto?
Nothing would sound better sung by Soto.
D20 ASMR.
Except maybe the soundtrack to the Muppet movie.
D20 ASMR donated $5. Didn't say anything, but thank you very much. It's appreciated all the same. Henri Sorrell says, I'm seeing Sabaton in Atlanta tomorrow.
Nice!
Roast me.
Why? They're a great band! Why would I roast you for watching Sabaton?
Patrick Starr says, thoughts on the California schools walking out on the 14th. Keep in mind this involves all public schools.
Hey!
High school, middle school, and elementary schools.
What are they calling that? A day without propaganda?
Yeah.
What the?
I honestly don't know much about it, but I can guess. And I'm sure it'll accomplish nothing.
Hey, it'll get a bunch of kids out of school. Maybe they can shake off the brainwashing for a day.
Scantron the Immortal says, hey Rage, what is gonna happen to us armed roof Koreans, aka Asians, in the new white ethno-state?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's what I said. What is gonna happen to us armed roof Koreans, aka Asians, in the new white ethno-state?
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
I don't think you have anything to worry about, really.
Looks like someone doesn't like to have company.
Oh my.
Winnis Finnis, the Menace Penis, says, hey Razor, I just saw the latest Death Wish remake and it wasn't all that bad.
Yeah, it didn't look that bad.
Not
It doesn't look that good either.
Not nearly as good as the original, duh, but better than you would think.
Yeah.
And exactly the kind of movie SJW movie critics would hate.
Yep.
Review?
If we go and see it. I've been thinking we're a little overdue for a Rageaholic cinema.
Locked.
Well, I don't know about overdue. We did do a whole fucking month of Mad Max, but still. We're about due. Bowcaster is life.
Revius says, you think EA could do a good Jedi Academy game, or would they just fuck it up like they did with every other Star Wars game they've touched?
The last one. About 100 times.
Yeah. I'm not sure you can depend on them making very many Star Wars games in the future.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Do they have the blanket Star Wars license, or do they just have the rights to Battlefront or whatever?
I think they made a couple, like, mobile phone games, too, so they might just have the license.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure what the status of that was. They have more rights than they should have.
1389 Gaming has a good point. EA doesn't make games anymore. They make online services.
This is true. This is true, and increasingly this is also true of the AAA industry at all.
Moose Clappin says, Have you read any of the old pre-Disney Star Wars books? If so,
Of
what are
course.
your thoughts on them? Also,
Yeah, I read Heir to the Empire. I read Shadows of the Empire. One of my favorite Star Wars books ever is Darth Maul Shadowhunter by Michael Reeves, who was one of the writers on Batman the Animated Series and Gargoyles. Really good book, actually. Even though, you kind of know how it's going to end, because, it takes place before Episode 1. That's the problem with prequels. Give me that. Oh, wait, I don't need it. I don't need it, because I have full body armor.
and he also asks, what are your thoughts on Chrono Trigger?
Fun, little overrated, but fun.
The Dino Sorcerer donated 20 bucks. Thank you, sir. Disney did worse than get rid of the EU. They changed it to Legends,
Yeah.
where there are stories that may or may not be true.
Yeah, which is basically, we're going to put this off in a closet and decide what's right later.
Yeah.
That's basically what that means.
So they can profit off of shit like Thawne while pretending Shadows of the Empire doesn't exist.
Yep.
Kazakame says, if you could send Zoe Quinn and Nita Sarkeesian and Brianna Wu to a fictional world, which would it be?
Which is the one where they snoo you until your pelvis ruptures? Just the...
I just send them to
Give them a taste of real feminism.
I would just send them to the Planet of the Apes and be done with it.
There's a Futurama reference for you all. Alright, look at those realistic water effects. It was 1990... fucking 5, 6?
Something like that. Joss Ricketts says, remember falling ship level here? How gravitation changes direction while you passing rooms?
Yep. Oh, there we go. There we go. Found the pipe. Okay. Okay.
I'm glad
okay.
you understood that. Nice one. There you go.
Blame me. Blame the invisible wall.
Inferno Chill says,
What is this?
You hear
nice.
You hear about Pettibone being held in prison. Yeah, we just
I
discussed
just
that.
talked about that.
Uzi Patrol.
Complete horseshit.
Yeah.
Complete horseshit.
Uzi Patrol says, hey, Razor MTG, what do you think of Favreau helming the Star Wars gig? That's the series, right?
No. I think he's doing a movie, isn't he?
It's the movie? Oh.
I think he's doing a Star Wars movie. I don't know what it is. Whoa! He was a good Foggy Nelson, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
I guess I have to go through that door.
Rybrant Man for the Win says, what do you think of Republic Commando?
Fun little shooter. Fun little shooter. Again, not quite as deep as the Jedi Knight games or the Dark Forces games, but a fun Star Wars shooter. Probably one of the last real bright spots of the Star Wars franchise in video games. Quick save.
Yeah, people are confirming it was a series that he got.
Oh, okay.
Hungry.
Whoa!
Oh shit.
Oh, Minox! Alright.
Jesus. Hungriest Nunu says, has anyone seen Kyle Katarn? He's about
This
this
has
tall.
got to be bad for my health.
Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. This is very, very not good.
Yeah, over there, and then up, and then... Oh, yeah. Save.
Platforming! In first person, not gonna happen. No, not gonna happen in
Apparently
third
not gonna happen
either.
in third.
Oh. Well, it didn't take too much of my health. Even though it's fucking lava! Do I get up here?
Yeah. Ah.
Yeah, but that's just a fucking... That's a fuck you from the level designers right there.
Oh, because the real goal is over there.
Yeah. That is a fuck you right from the level designers. Because I don't think I can get back up once... Well, I could try. I don't think I will.
Nope.
Nope, I'm fucked. I'm fucked! I just... Oh.
No, give up. Quit.
Give it up! You can't win!
So what is the answer here? No.
The answer is run across real fast and don't die. I hear Minox. I hear Minox.
Oh, there he is. Helicopter kicks says, please defend On Deadly Ground Seagal's masterpiece. And one of my faves, environmentalist that blows up everything and kills everything he sees.
It's a good eco-terrorist movie. I think we're
My
good.
father's workshop. Ouija has got to be in here.
Ouija! That's right, Kyle Katarn invented Ouija.
Wow, cool.
Here we go. Cutscene. And now, I do believe I get some of my Jedi powers after this. Oh, what a bunch of shitty CGI junk laying in the corner there. PC load letter? What does that mean? He's gonna test if you're a replicant.
This message is intended for my son, Kyle Katarn.
In the future, you will be written out of history.
I have left two very important...
Beware Kathleen Kennedy.
The first is a map to the Valley of the Jedi, and is embedded in the stone ceiling above this room. The last is a lightsaber that once belonged to a friend and great Jedi, Ron.
Last name Burgundy. Stay classy, Narshada.
Use it well. Use it for good.
Got the lightsaber, ladies and gents. You know, and he
Let's
did.
see what this saber can do.
But how could he become a Jedi without getting a psychic message from touching the lightsaber?
Yeah.
Now, when you do the lightsaber, it's usually best to go third person. Aw, poor Ouija, you're just gonna abandon him here? What an awful human being you are, Kyle Katarn.
Peyton Sloan says, what did they call Anakin's apprentice after she stayed in the sun too long? Ahsoka Tano.
I don't get that joke at all.
The irrigation channels are my way out of here.
I'm not sure there's anything to get. Nice.
Anyway, Alex Calloway. Oh no, we read that one already.
Nice.
Gonkbot.
Yes! Gonk droid! Gonk.
Who
Gonk.
wins in a fist fight between Ben Shapiro and Milo Yiannopoulos?
Does Shapiro have access to a stool?
Yeah. I can imagine Ben Shapiro on stilts is unstoppable.
I think the reason Shapiro doesn't like Milo is I think he knows it's one of the few people who could debate circles around him. Shapiro's kind of he's not really, in empirical terms, he's not actually that informed on issues or that empirically intelligent, in terms of applicable intelligence, I mean. He's book smart, by a lot, in fact. But he's more of an assassin that you sick on people because he's really good at arguing. Which is, you know, that's a talent. That's not really... It's not really a metric of the quality of your arguments, necessarily.
D20 ASMR
But
says,
I agree with him on many issues as well, I should say.
says, characters like Jan have more personality and charm than all the new movie characters combined.
It's true. It's true.
It takes so little effort.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
damn true.
Ugh.
Is that where I... Oh, that's where I came from. Fuck.
Oh Cunts Razor says, hey Razor and T-Boogie, love the show. Opinions on Battle Beast and or Gamma Ray?
We used Battle Beast in a video, and I think we might have used one Gamma Ray song a long time ago. But, I like both of them. Yes, right. Deflect those fucking blaster bolts. Or don't.
Whatever.
You can soak up the damage if you want, Kyle. You go right on ahead, asshole.
Gorgie says, you have extremely educated opinions and have an excellent way of conveying them. Keep up the good work. Also, do you like Shining? SWE?
The Swedish band?
Yeah.
Not especially. Best Swedish black metal band that I dig these days is Kraft. And unfortunately, they haven't done anything in a number of years here. They're a kick-ass fucking band, though. Towards the end, they stopped wearing makeup and all that shit, though. So I hate when bands puss out like that. You gotta have the theater going on, too. You gotta have a visual element. That's black metal. I get tired of these bands who think they're such fucking auteurs because they're black metal bands that don't wear makeup anymore. Hey, look at me, I'm wearing a hooded sweatshirt. It's the mundanity of evil. No, it's the mundanity of your fucking music, asshat.
Yeoman Archer says, Texas finally dropped their ban on large bladed weapons, so you can open carry a broadsword now. Why
Which is funny as fuck, because didn't they had a mass stabbing at Texas University not that long ago. I think that was right after Aurora. If you were gonna ban anything, I guess it would be that, but whatever.
El Roli says, Razor eres el perro loco?
Way too, Oh.
What? I don't speak the language.
Yeah, so don't say it out loud. It was an insult.
Oh. Okay.
Follow along.
Serpent21 says, what Trek actor is biggest
Oh.
libtard? I say Mariana.
Who?
Marina. Or
No, no,
Curtis.
no, Gates McFadden.
Really?
Gates
I haven't heard anything from her.
Oh, are you kidding me? Gates McFadden, the reason she left originally, have you heard this story? The reason she left TNG originally was fucking there was an episode, and I forget what it was. I think it was Angels, whatever. The one where Riker is boning that chick, and they're like on the sex planet, where women like run everything, and men are just like sex objects. And she perceived that episode as being sexist, and she like called Gene Roddenberry on the carpet for it. And Gene Roddenberry was like, "Fine, bitch, you're fired." Which is why I always laugh when people are like, Gene Roddenberry was a progressive. It's like, yeah, he was a bit of a communist, but I wouldn't go so far as to say progressive. He kind of believed women should be women and men should be men. Like, he kind of was one of those people. He had kind of an Old West sensibility about him. He saw Star Wars as a space western, in fact. That's one of the reasons DS9 is a space western. TNG and the original series are Wagon Train to the Stars. But yeah, Gates McFadden got fired for being a shrill fucking feminist, and that was back in the 80s, so imagine how bad she is now.
I imagine the second place silver medal would go to Will Wheaton.
Ugh. Yeah, she raised him to be like her.
Hungriest Nunu says.
Alright, how are we gonna do
You're gonna end
this?
up in Japanese hell. A disgrace to your ancestors.
He doesn't say that, but thank you. Hungriest Nunu says 40K Marine and Chuck Schumer. It says you're a Hebrew. Jesus. Best Way Killa says.
What is down here?
Please talk about how Mick Gordon is the most overrated composer in games today. I think his soundtracks suck cock by choice.
Yeah, I don't understand the fucking Doom soundtrack. I thought it was a piece of shit, personally. It was like,
Oh, he did that?
oh my god, it's got guitars in it. It's like, yeah, it's also got a bunch of fucking wubstep nonsense on it. What the fuck?
Yeah, it should've just been
It sounds like shitty 90s industrial at times. Like, I don't get it. It didn't strike me as really fitting the game that much. If you're gonna do a Doom soundtrack in a modern game, it's gotta be like full thrash metal. And I say this, like people, when I say this, they assume I'm just being a metal fan. I don't even like thrash metal that much. And I've been pretty open about that as well. I'm speaking against my own interests. I don't want to fucking listen to thrash, but that's what it should sound like, because that's the music that inspired the original soundtracks. If you're gonna do that, just update it into the modern day. Just fucking have a thrash metal soundtrack. None of this fucking keyboard nonsense. Mick Gordon's a goddamn hipster hack. Fuck him.
WOF Hornet says. Saw Sabotage.
And I think he's overrated, by the way, because he fucking performed at the Game Awards for the 5 people that still watch that fucking thing.
WOF Hornet says. Saw Sabotage in concert a few days ago, and they fucking rocked.
Anybody else remember when I caught Jeff Keighley lying about their viewership figures, and he confronted me on Twitter, and then I caught him in another lie?
Really?
Anybody else remember that? Yeah.
I don't. You should.
That was right after the last Game Awards. I don't know who linked him to my tweet, but that was pretty fucking hilarious.
Saw Sabaton in concert a few days ago, and they fucking rocked. Death to commies. God fucking speed.
Kill a commie for mommy.
Rye Brent Man for the win says, here's $10. Go buy and stream some KOTOR. Will you use his $10 to buy KOTOR?
Maybe.
Or to post him for?
I don't have KOTOR. I'm not opposed to streaming it. I like KOTOR a lot. Let's do.
But thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Joss Ricketts says, play Jagged Alliance 2 instead. I guess that's when the stream crashed. Groovy Snake says,
oh, there we go. That's where I need to go.
hey Razor, have you given the new Judas Priest album a listen yet, and what are your thoughts? I think we just talked about that.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It is fucking awesome. It's, that was dumb.
Yep.
That was incredibly dumb. Let us. But yeah, I have given it a listen. I've been doing nothing but listening to it the last day and a half or so, and it slays. It just gets better and better. How do I get where it needs to go? I think I need to go in here, maybe.
Shane Boatwright says, greeterlings, Razor. I'm here to give you thanks for introducing me to the glories of heavy metal. And what better way than money? Godspeed.
Godspeed.
Thank you,
Have
sir.
to pay me for turning you on to good music. Good music is good music. I'd be telling you it's good whether you paid me or not.
Action.
Minoc!
Action Cigarette says, anything to say about the new Death Wish? Not yet. We haven't seen it yet.
Have not seen it. It's funny too. Like people thought I was gonna hate it, and when I saw the first trailer, I tweeted out that it didn't look bad. It looked all right. Bruce Willis is no Charles Bronson. He never was, never will be. Even in his prime, Bruce Willis was not in Charles Bronson's league. It's just a fact. But it could still be good. It could still be good. Speaking of which, I saw The Sixth Sense for the first time ever.
Really?
Yeah, I was way behind on that one. It sucks because you already know what happens in the movie because everyone spoiled it.
Of course.
It's one of those fucking movies, but it's still good.
Yeah.
It's still good.
Let's see. John says, are you using the unofficial patch? Makes it more compatible with modern systems.
No, I'm not. I'm using... I did use the unofficial installer patch, like so that it would install on modern systems. That's how much of a bitch this game is. It won't even install on your computer without help. Listen to that atmosphere, though. Okay, let's get over here. Ah!
If you haven't saved recently.
I already did.
Alright. Jason the Unpopular says, hey guys, last week I asked what your favorite Wild West themed games were, but I had to pass out before the question was read, and when I awoke, the next day the stream had been nuked.
Yeah, by YouTube copyright gods.
I hate to ask you to repeat yourselves, but would you please? I believe you said Gun.
Gun, Red Dead, of course. Desperados.
The Cartel.
No, not the Cartel.
Cartel.
Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
1 and 2. And Bound in Blood.
And Call of Juarez Bound in Blood.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty much it. Oh, Dead Man's Hand is pretty good too.
And let's see.
Where the fuck? How do you get up here?
Game King 40 asks, thoughts on the new Priest album? We've talked about that quite a bit. But thank you for your
on
donation.
Where I need to go. No, I see it. I'm a fucking retard. There it is.
Samuel Steingart says, those Gamorrean guards scream real good before they die.
They do indeed. Oh, Peppy, long time no see.
Space Marine says, playing Daggerfall and got to the second main quest. Must find out which royal family pissed and Lysandu stew.
Yep.
The royals don't tell me much. Is it 'cause I am naked black man?
Are you playing as a Red Guard?
DeBella be with me. Maybe that's why.
Red Guards was kings.
Well, in that universe, anyway. Beard Bear says, random thoughts on Owen Benjamin.
I'm not that familiar with. I've seen him a few times. I think I was actually on an episode of Crowder that he was on. But I don't hate him. I don't know. It seems fine to me. I'm not really acquainted with him. Is the main thing. Where do I need to go?
Dewey 666.
No,
says,
no!
Good thing you saved.
That's cool though. It's realistic in that if you fall from too great a height, water is not a fucking pillow. It will crush the shit out of you.
Dewey says, what is your beef with Eddie Muller?
He's a fucking hack. He's a revisionist on the subject of noir. He views film noir through the lens of modern eyes, which is deeply disingenuous. Look, he's just like anyone else from fucking Turner Classic Movies. He's a bit of an ideologue. You know, they fucking hired the dude from the Young Turks to host their fucking movies. And that should tell you all you need to know about Turner Classic Movies. You know, good example. They'll air like a modern noir, and they'll talk, or classic noir, and then they'll talk about like the feminist subtext of the fucking movie and shit. It was 1941. Like, what feminist subtext? Shut your fucking mouth. There were women writing the movies, and there still was no feminist subtext. Stop projecting your modern fucking bullshit onto movies from 50 years ago. Oh!
He also asks, any film noir recommendations? He already has Big Combo and Cry Danger.
Go, Pitfall is a great movie. Go, oh, shit. The Big Heat is great. The Third Man.
Third Man's my favorite.
I would go, The Lady from Shanghai. If you like The Third Man, Lady from Shanghai is another great Orson Welles film noir. Very underrated when it was released, but, you know, it's been reevaluated in recent years and has proven out. Let's see here. Very cool. Also has a really surrealistic climactic sequence in it. Where do I need to go?
Trago1337
Ah, there we go.
asks, thoughts on Studio Ghibli's movies?
I've seen a few. I like them.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw Porco Rosso, which was pretty good. Saw, Spirited Away,
Yeah, Spirited Away is
which
good.
was pretty good. I like them.
I saw Howl's Moving Castle. I like that one. He says, sorry that I ask weeb-related questions all the time, but I got to know, what's T-Boogie's favorite anime? We discussed it before. I like, it's called
Bible
Iria-
Black is the name of.
It's called Iria Zerum, the animation.
Right.
And I just love the world. I love the technology. It's very makeshift. Like they just fucking slapped it together and it just works. It's really cool.
It just works. It works as intended?
Yeah.
Is that where I need to
Henri
go?
Sorel
Yes,
says,
it is. Okay.
the real big thing that happened to Detroit is being the pilot for Johnson's socialist Model Cities program.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Oh, I think I'm going to change the water level. Folks, we have a kind of water level here. Shit. No, no, no. Oh, okay, air. Whew! Okay. You guys ready? Let's do it. Let's do it! I think we can do this. We can do it. What the? There's a friggin' squid!
Just keep fucking swimming.
Wait. No. Gotta get out there. Oh, geez, I'm gonna freaking die. I am gonna suffocate! This is not good! Alright. Best way to do water levels is to not do them. But this one's not too bad.
Uriel Septim the 7th says, several years ago I sent a hard drive full of Tifa Lockhart hentai to Terrangel. It never arrived. As far as you know.
It never arrived.
John Smith.
I did grieve for it.
John Smith says,
Excuse the glue.
I just left Los Angeles for a red state. Can we please nuke those degenerate cools now?
Hey, as long as you got out.
Kazakame says, Odo has returned to Star Trek Online.
Has he?
Really?
What? I haven't played Star Trek Online in a little while. Last I saw, all the DLC revolved around Geordi LaForge. Is there new DLC with Odo in it?
That would be cool.
That would be fucking awesome. I'll play Star Trek Online now.
Henri Sorel asks again, who's been very generous tonight. Because I self-identify as a grammar Nazi, I must point out that I said pottery because it's a Star Wars related meme and not due to a typo. Very well, I shall allow it.
Someone forgot to take their Risperdal this morning.
John Smith says, thoughts on the Calgary plan?
What is the Calgary plan?
I have no idea.
Is the plan to break Calgary off from the rest of Canada? Because I like that plan. Calgary's the only place in Canada that fucking occasionally knows what the fuck they're doing.
Shane Boatwright says, any love for the Quake sequel?
Plus, they gave us Bret Hart. So. If you put the letter S in front of Hitman, you have my exact opinion of Bret Hart, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. All right. What was the last question? Take that, space squid! Whoa. Tusken Raider-ish kind of enemies that aren't really Tusken Raiders.
Shane Boatwright asks, any love for the Quake sequels?
I haven't played a lot of them. You're more of a Quake guy. Right?
Yeah. I liked Quake Arena. 4 was an abomination, and I'm looking forward to,
Was it an abomination before the eyes of God?
Sure. And I'm looking forward to Quake Champions.
Why does this work underwater?
Why isn't it boiling you alive?
Alright. You think you're just gonna take your laser sword and beat Darth Vader? Fuck you, Ryan Johnson!
Combine has a challenge for you. Do Hank Hill impersonating Stone Cold.
No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Okay, I can kind of see how you could approach it. I said Stone Cold is gonna beat Vince McMahon. What? I said, what? Did you?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's the only way I can think to approach it. Alright. Whoa, 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 Tusken Raiders! Got him! These are like different Tusken Raiders. These are the slightly aspy Tusken Raiders.
Let's see.
Alright.
Atheists Are Dumb says, I hope my new name is PC enough for Taryn to read aloud. It used to be Atheists Are Faggots. No, I'm alright with that. Either way.
That's a perfectly PC name.
Being a young conservative is like being Hank Hill. You're the last guy with any decency or testosterone, and you're surrounded by invading lefty homos. Anthony Carollo says, Lord Razoridius. Thoughts on the band Boston?
Pretty good. And I gotta say, that fucking... The way their singer committed suicide, probably the most metal way to go. I mean, you gotta be dedicated. That took dedication. He's like, should I shoot myself in the head? Should I suffocate myself? Should I jump off a building? No. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking pull a bunch of propane grills into my bathroom, shut the door, shove blankets under the fucking door, and then turn the propane on and suffocate myself. That's what I'm gonna do.
Or you didn't light a match? That would have been the way to
Jesus
go.
Christ. That takes dedication.
John Smith says, I just ordered an MP40 reproduction. Pumped. Dude, cool.
Nice.
Is it full auto? Hungriest Nunu says,
What did I just open?
so by the end of DS9, the Cardassians are, well, I don't want to read this out loud. There might be some spoilers in there for people who are watching.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't want to give away spoilers. We want you guys that are following along with us.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to read that comment spoil something for someone.
Oh, there she is! My own private space agent.
And cutscene, and we'll get back to questions in a bit.
Ooh, I got some force points. Nice!
Actually, before you start, do you want to answer just a few more? Because we need to get caught up.
Let's go with speed. I was built for speed.
Or we'll just watch the cutscene.
Well, actually.
Oh, clever motherfucker.
There is a pause button in this game.
Let's see. Where did I leave off? Best Way Killa says, ordered Anthem's first 2 albums and the Ready to Ride EP today.
Nice. You
Thanks
should get, if you can find it, you should get Xanadu, the single. It hasn't been released on any fucking, any Anthem albums. I don't even think it's on any of the compilations. I could be wrong, but Dragon Slayer, I believe it's called, a fucking RPG, CRPG from the 80s. They recorded a soundtrack for it, basically. It was a big, long, like, 2-sided... It's basically 2 songs, and they recorded it for it as a soundtrack. So, and it's kick-ass.
Thanks a ton for introducing me to this awesome band. Lord Squirrel Show says, do you own any firearms yourself? And yeah, he does.
Of course I do. Mauser C96 broom handled, and a 45/45 ACP Ruger Blackhawk.
Matt, the Tin Tan Man, says, do you think Gearbox will sell the Duke Nukem IP?
Baron's Head.
We'll see. Hold
The
on.
Empire sure knows how to ruin a perfectly good city.
My guess is
I love that this
how it
is actually a
like
city we
house.
reference in the
The
movies.
Imperials are guarding it like a fortress.
Well, I think a visit's in order. Don't you?
All right. Jan Orr's his best waifu. You can take your Tifa and your Eris and blow them at your ass.
Oh, did you already comment on the Duke Nukem question?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it kind of depends on how their most recent... Whoa. Because aren't they making another kind of throwback shooter?
I don't know.
I think they are, and I think it depends on how well that does.
Alex,
If it does well, I would be surprised if they sold the Duke Nukem IP. Because then you could do the same kind of game and just call it Duke Nukem, and you would sell a bunch of copies.
Alex Seekman says, do you think Disney will ever throw away their garbage Disneyverse and bring back the good old EU?
I think there is very little Disney would not do for a buck.
Yeah.
So if
this doesn't work out,
if the shitty new movies stop selling, they will reboot like the Dickens. You know, they're not like George Lucas in that George Lucas was married to his vision. They don't have a vision. That's the benefit of not having a vision is they're not married to their fucking vision. Oh, I love this fucking guy.
people are saying Ion Maiden.
Yeah, Ion Maiden, thank you. I think if that does well... Ooh, I almost killed an innocent. Whoops. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go dark side. Oh. Oh, never mind. And the lightsaber does illuminate dark spaces, which is nice.
And, also, thoughts on Star Wars Rebels, the show where they ruin Thawne and almost everything else forever.
Ugh, the fucking B-Wing thing. Did you hear about that?
What?
They fucking... They retconned the B-Wings so that it has a giant fucking death cannon thing that can destroy a fucking Death Star on it. Oh, it is stupid. It is stupid.
Leave us in peace.
Sounds like something they do.
Probably one of the reasons the B-Wing has not been in the new movies, because they're not... The filmmakers heard about that and were like, what the fuck?
Officer Donut says, don't know if you answered this already, I'm just coming in. Thoughts about the newest Priest record, favorite song? Mine is honestly Necromancer. Yeah, we talked
Yeah,
about
Necromancer's one of my favorites, too. Rise from Ruins is really fucking good. Sea of Red is amazing. I'm really liking Spectre. Spectre reminds me of a track off of Jugulator. I said on Twitter the other day. Sounds like, man, Ripper Owens could be singing on that. That's what amazes me about this album is it's being hailed as this return to, like, the classic Priest sound, but the truth is, like, it's got a lot of similarities to the Ripper Owens years, sonically speaking.
The Dino Sorcerer says, you reading the chats from the first stream too? Yes, we are.
Yes,
we didn't cut anything off. We're trying to get to all the donations.
Can I get up here? I wish I had force pull.
Liberty Prime says, England needs to take a tip from Judas Priest. If the man with the power can't keep it under control,
Some heads are gonna roll.
hell yeah. Peyton Sloan says, did you hear that Tiber Zahn started an escort agency? It's being called Zan's Consortium. Rye Brett for the win says, favorite Star Wars video game villain?
You know what? Jarek would have to be up there. I like Jarek a lot.
Fuck. Well, shit, he started out in a video game.
No, no.
Darth Revan.
Oh, Revan's great too. Yeah. Although you might be the protagonist depending on
your choices.
Yeah, I fucking so stupid that Kylo Ren, they wasted that look on such a shitty character.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren is trash, folks. I'm fucking tired of people saying he's the one good thing about those movies. Shut your fucking mouths. He's insufferable.
Let's see. Dennis Head says, favorite Batman comics.
I've talked about this before. I really like, of course, Batman Year One. That's kind of a gimme. I love, and a lot of people don't like this comic, but I love it. Batman Hush Returns, I really like. I'm not that big a fan of Batman Hush, but I really like Hush Returns. Has much better art, in my opinion. And, I really like Batman No Man's Land and Contagion and that whole saga there. I love all that stuff. And then, I guess if Nightwing counts as a Batman comic, I like the whole Scott McDaniel, Chuck Dixon Nightwing run. And nothing else.
Moop says, did lights for Yingwei a while ago. Your
Really?
mythos helped a lot. Smoke at World War III, all reds and yellow. This isn't a fucking country show. He is, as you said.
Yngwie hates white light. There's a story actually you can read in his unofficial biography where he chewed out a fucking lighting guy because he kept using white lights and he fucking walked off stage because he loves playing to like red light, you know, even a little purple light or yellows, whatever, but he hates fucking white light.
Zany Boy asks, Yo, Grace, your thoughts on the rumors that Metroid Prime 4 is being made by the team that was making Star Wars 1313 before they were fired by Disney?
Oh, there we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gotta love my bowcaster.
Please don't hurt me.
I don't think anyone got killed there.
Please
How
don't
about
hurt
that?
me.
Should I repeat the question?
Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
I'm not sure.
Star Wars 13, I was not like, holy fuck, I've got to play that game. When I heard
Yeah,
about
we
it,
barely saw anything
when
about
I heard
it.
about it, I was like, okay, whatever. So I wasn't quite so heartbroken as everybody else was when that was canceled, especially given, you know, how recent Star Wars offerings had been as games. Honestly, all I think new Star Wars games need is good premises. Right now, the games are just so generic. The key to any good game, and really the game industry needs to return to this, is wish fulfillment. They want
Leave us in peace.
you want to be someone you could never be in real life and do something you could never do.
Please don't hurt me.
I think that's at the core of it. That's one of the reasons Thief works, because it's like, there's the title. It's right there in the title. You get to be a thief. You get to be a medieval thief. What the fuck?
Leave us in peace.
Fuck. Give me up.
Let's see. T-Buddy says,
Leave me alone.
Hey, boys. I have an in-depth question. With the success of Subnautica, I started thinking about other successful small games, and was wondering, do you think the industry is starting to reboot itself?
I think there's a lot of... I hesitate to say that because the industry is resisting it so much. You look at how video game media is covering these smaller and, like, new middle market games, and you can see they're going kicking and screaming. You know, they don't want these games to be successful. Look at the reaction to Kingdom Come Deliverance,
What's happening?
which is one of the biggest middle market successes in fucking years. You know, it sold more out of the gate than the original Witcher game did. with a lot less money, might I add. Remember, the first Witcher game was subsidized by the Polish government.
Leave us in peace.
Actually, I think CD Projekt still takes some subsidies from the Polish government, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. Trago says, how did either of you get exposed to Star Wars?
Me? I watched them at a really young age, but I didn't really remember them. Like, I remember there was like a family friend who was between houses, and he stayed with us for a while, and he rented them for, I think he rented the Star Wars movies, and he was watching them while I was watching them, so I kind of remember like specific shots from the movies, but I didn't know anything about the story or anything like that. So it's kind of a weird way to get into it, and I wouldn't even venture to say that I was necessarily into it. Years the fuck later... Whoa. Years the fuck later, the Super Nintendo games, Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, and for me especially, Super Return of the Jedi, turned me on to Star Wars in a big way. That was also around the same time that the One Last Time release of the trilogy on VHS was released, the remastered, that didn't really have too many changes. That's really the last original version of Star Wars you can buy, to this day, in fact. And so, you know, I went through to my local fucking Blockbuster and or Warehouse Video, and I rented them all, like, one by one, and fucking went crazy for these movies. How do I think I have to...
For me, I watched them on VHS when I was a kid, and again, repeatedly on television when they were...
Right.
Whenever they were on. Let's see, he also asks...
Okay, I think
Oh,
that's where I need to go. There we go, that's what I need to do.
He states, I did through my dad's big Laserdisc collection of movies as a kid. OG theatrical cuts, baby. Good shit. Hope you still have them.
My grandpa also had the original Star Wars trilogy, like with the actual painted Hildebrand brothers cover, with Luke holding up the lightsaber, and the trilogy on VHS would actually, like, it's hard to describe, but it was like a box set that would come apart. It, like, was diagonally... It's hard to describe, but people already know what the fuck I'm talking about, because a lot of people owned this, but it was one of the original VHS releases. I remember that from my childhood, too.
Alex Siegman says, do you think PS4 God of War will finally convince people that The Last of Us-esque game design is cancer, spending more time in MGS-style cutscenes and actually experiencing the hand-holdy, linear and scripted as fuck gameplay, complete with shitty AI?
I am not that familiar with...
Is that a probe droid I hear?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. What just happened? Okay, I was afraid it crashed. Jesus Christ.
Let's answer a couple before you.
That was Gears of War what?
Do you think God of War will finally convince people that The Last of Us as game design is cancer?
Oh. Maybe. Although, honestly, the new God of War looks more like Skyrim to me. It looks like, if anything, if it flops, it'll convince people to stop trying to be Skyrim.
Asim Jessen also says, also my family owned the diagonal VHS box set.
Yeah,
the golden one, right?
Right. That would be the one.
Boss fight? No.
No, it's just a probe droid. Speaking of which, the probe droid was designed, for many who are not aware, was designed by Mobius.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Mobius designed quite a few little things on the original Star Wars trilogy. Whoa, I forgot about landmines in this game. But the probe droid is like his real masterpiece. It's the thing that everybody remembers.
So will people finally get on board that all that shit's cancer now?
I think they'll, like I said, I think it's more likely if God of War flops that we'll start reevaluating the every game needs to be Witcher or Skyrim philosophy.
America Crusader says, Do you prefer the old Star Wars movies versus the Disney canon? That's... Why would you even ask that?
Yeah.
The Major Spike...
Oh, hold on. I have force speed. What am I doing? You can run right past fucking landmines if you have force speed. Watch this. Let me see if I can do this.
Yeah, save. Nice.
Alright.
The Major Spike 9000 says, one thing I realized about the new Star Wars movies that bothers me is that we really don't learn anything new about the universe, and it consists of unearned pathos.
It really does.
B-Wings for life and fuck mustard.
B-Wings for fucking life. And A-Wings. I love my A-Wings almost as much. A-Wings are the shit. And so are Y-Wings.
Yeah. Pseudofo says, do you like any Coen brothers take on noir? Blood Simple, No Country, etc.
Fucking Fargo or whatever. Not really. Not really. And No Country for Old Men being considered noir, I've always kind of balked at that. I remember when it first came out, everyone was like, oh my god, it's neo-noir. It's like, what, just because there's a murder mystery? Really? Really?
He also says, this game has more bugs than the floor at the Pulse nightclub. Ooh.
JK? The game doesn't have bugs, it's just this... It's just not very compatible with modern systems. Honestly, JK is not a terribly buggy game at all. Can I jump up there? Is that what I need to do?
Big Fire says, when are you going to do a review playthrough of Ghost of a Tale? It's coming next week.
Yes, it is. I am excited.
We actually already did a review.
We did yes, we absolutely did a review of Ghost of a Tale. It's just, you know, now the full version's going to be coming out, so we'll definitely do a playthrough, though, because I'm excited to play that.
People are screaming at you to use the saber on the fucking door.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. I do not remember that. To unjam the door with the lightsaber. Wrong way. Wrong way. There we go. Man, Kyle Katarn can haul. Oh! That was a nice little surprise there.
Otto von Bismarck says, who's a better singer, Yingwei or a Vietnamese man getting his intestines pulled out of his ass? Oh my.
Good flow, Terrangel.
Yeah, well. I kind of got shocked in the middle of that.
Alright, let's,
Climb that? No.
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
Can I...
Unless you actually want to answer the question.
Come on, there's no... That is a rhetorical question if ever there was one.
Only Caleb says, I'm a fan of Trump, but I'm not happy about him scapegoating video games. What's your take?
It's nothing new. I agree. I've always disagreed with Trump on this subject, though. This is nothing new. He was like, look, he's a fucking boomer, folks. He's a boomer. He made these statements back in 2012, long before he ran for president. There was no reason to believe he had reversed his position. I think all you can do is raise a shit stink, say you won't support him if he continues to push it. And the great thing about Trump is he's not really an ideologue. If he sees that his position is not working or it's not popular, he will generally reverse it. Oh, fuck. Fuck, 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 fuckity, fuck, 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 fuck. Fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Was that like just a trap or what?
I think am I dead? I am dead. I am dead! I found a rocket launcher and I'm dead anyway. Let's try this. I'm gonna have to use force speed next time. Okay. Hey, the load worked without crashing. How about that?
John Smith says, here are some blankets for the night. How about some beds? You don't need beds. You're gonna die tomorrow. What?
What?
Well, his name is John Smith. Maybe he's making a native joke?
Blankets? I think he's talking about smallpox blankets.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's grab that rocket launcher.
Simon Belmont says, JK and XVT were two of my favorite online experiences through the MSN Gaming Zone. Our clan scheduled clan wars and tryouts all the time.
Goddamn right. It was a hell of a lot of fun. It's amazing how well the games have actually aged. I would go back and get that rocket launcher, but it is not worth it. Whoa! Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at?
Alex Seekman says, thoughts on Star Wars Bounty Hunter 2002 for the PS2 and GameCube?
Never played it. It looked cool. I just never played it. I'm not sure if it's any good or not. That's a cool premise. That's a good example of what I'm talking about, where like the best games are just a premise. You know what I mean? Be a bounty hunter. Be whatever. Republic Commando is a good example of that, because basically that game is be a stormtrooper, right? I feel like a game, we're overdue for a game where you just play as a stormtrooper. Just call it Star Wars Stormtrooper. I think that would sell. I absolutely believe that would sell. Of course, how do you simulate missing that badly with a blaster? Oh my god. This gun.
And John Smith says it was a quote from Delta Force. Kazukami says, you're forced to watch at gunpoint Sword Art Online or The Last Jedi.
Oh!
Your choice.
I'm gonna need to know the availability of cyanide pills. Oh my god! Speaking of stormtroopers! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these are the first stormtroopers in the game, and we're what, 3 or 4 levels in?
Yeah.
Oh my god, ATST.
Oh dear.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. And these
Not
things...
worth it to get that rocket launcher, huh?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut your whore mouth! God damn it. Oh god, I need that fucking rocket launcher!
Garland Noel says, thought I'd miss you while running my radio show at the college. Glad to see you still live.
Godspeed.
Rybrant Man for the win
I
says,
see you were suckered into college radio as well.
favorite Indiana Jones movie?
Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is my personal favorite.
Yeah, mine too. Only Caleb says, will there ever be a Dio Metal Mythos?
Yeah, eventually. Like I said, I'd rather do Rainbow first. Do it right.
Also, do you like the band Melvins?
A little bit. I like some of the Melvin stuff. They're an important band in the development of hardcore. Ah! Balls! Thank you. Okay.
And Volt says,
I'm gonna try and get this fucking rocket launcher, and if I die, once again, I'm gonna blame all of you.
Volt says, thoughts on the Ion Maiden, the spiritual successor to Duke Nukem 3D?
This fucking thing. I haven't played it. I thought it was in this room.
I thought it was too.
Where'd it go?
Better go up and get it.
Yeah. Well, this is a bunch of balls. Doesn't matter. I mean, I saved right before I went down here, so it's not a huge deal.
William Sova says, hey Razor, why do British writers always cry about fascism, yet always seem to make it look cool, or support fascist tactics in real life?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably because they're naive morons who are convinced that fascism is not socialist. I don't see I do not see that rocket launcher. That's some bullshit.
Bon Jamith says, it's in a hole near the ceiling in that room you were in.
Mother of God.
Like you said, you saved.
I did.
Ted Harrington donated $25. Thank you, sir. Just wanted to say thank you for the Death Wish reviews. Well, you are welcome, sir.
There it is.
Now get the fuck out of there.
Yes. Let's get up here. No, no, no! I can't see! I can't see! Fuck!
But you are very welcome for those reviews. Those were some of my favorite to do.
Death Wish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were fun. They were cool because we had never done like a weekly schedule on those before, ever. So it was like a big challenge. And like, I remember right at the outset, we like sat down and were like, let's not do this unless every single one can be better than the one before it. And in my personal opinion, that's exactly what happened. I think Death Wish 5 was the best one that we did out of the bunch. And they just kind of got better and better and better. Just my personal opinion.
Mute Gamer
I still love that one where that gag in depth, and this was all Terengel, by the way. He came up with that gag entirely himself. Most of those reviews, I wrote out the gags ahead of time, or sometimes I would even edit them. But he came up with the gag where he hugs his wife, and then there's a sniper scope like laser on her head.
Yeah, yeah.
And God's about to shoot her in the face.
Yeah.
And then the phone rings and it's Bronson and it's, I'm coming for you. That was all Terengel, ladies and gentlemen. That was one of our best gags in my opinion.
Those were some great mushrooms. Mute Gamer says, because I missed it in the last stream because of a blackout, then YouTube took down the stream before I could see it. What are some Star Wars stories from the EU do you think that would make good movies?
Well, fuck. I mean, you could cast almost anyone as Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Darth Maul Shadowhunter would be fucking badass. In fact, I will go out on a limb and say you will have, as long as the Star Wars series is still being made into movies and Disney doesn't give up because they shit on the franchise too much. I believe you will have a Darth Maul movie. Uh-oh, don't shoot those. Good shit. Good shit. Where's he at? I see you. I'm coming for you.
Peyton Sloan says, who is the Jawa's favorite magician? Houdini.
Oh, why would you?
Coriolana's Rex says, how would you make a new Blade Runner RPG?
Oh, well, I don't know that I would make an RPG out of it. I don't know that I would do that. I don't know that the original premise really lends itself that much to an RPG. Got it. Got it. Alright. Kill that probe droid. Come on, Probot. Overrated Dave Grohl side project.
So you just wouldn't go RPG?
I don't know that I would. I mean, that's the kind of game where you would have to make it more of like a investigation, cinematic kind of a...
I would go L.A. Noire with it.
Yeah, look, guys, we got an awesome Blade Runner game. In my opinion, one of the best PC games ever made. So, like, I would honestly leave that alone or just kind of remake what we already got. Because that fucking game rules. Alright, we got a super shield going on, I believe.
Officer Donut says, speaking of Bruce Willis, Fifth Element is just Die Hard in space. Changed my mind.
Not really. I don't remember any fucking space magic rock things in Die Hard.
Greg Lopez says,
Fuck was that?
shame they don't make Star Wars games like these anymore. Instead, gaming is going backwards instead of forward.
A shame it can't go backward to a time when games like this were made.
Yeah. Red Buster says, saw your Breath of Fire 2 stream the other day, and it made me fire up my copy of Breath of Fire 3 again. Just wish I knew where my SNES of Breath of Fire games went.
Yeah, I got funny story about that. I had a friend fucking steal my Breath of Fire SNES cartridge. And I didn't realize where it had gone, like it just disappeared one day. And I'm like, okay. And then one day I'm over at my friend's house and there's magically a Breath of Fire cart in his fucking SNES. And I'm like, hey, where'd that come from? He's like, oh yeah, I got that. I found that. I was gonna tell you. I was gonna give it to you, in fact. Like, you fucking liar. You goddamn rat bastard. Whoa.
Then you killed him right then and there, right?
Yeah, bowcaster is no joke. Okay. Okay, Probot, fuck you.
Rodansk Oliver says, thoughts on the 1997 LucasArts Western FPS Outlaws?
Never played it. Never played it, so I do not know.
And Alex Seekman says, thoughts on Metroid Prime 4 finally being greenlit 7 years after the melodrama overloaded abomination known as Other M.
Yeah, I'm not the guy to ask. I don't even really like the Metroid Prime games. I remember at the time, you know, a lot of people were like, hey, like, who knew? When it was teased that fucking Prime was gonna come out, everyone said that it wouldn't work and it'd be really lame. And boy, didn't those people turn out to be wrong. And I'm always the guy who raises his hand and goes, it kinda did suck. It wasn't that good. I don't know why people think it's amazing. But, hey, whatever. Whatever floats your boat.
Hungriest Nunu says, Zerum, that scene when he's a quiet silhouette in the doorway, the heavy chords start up, and there's god-tier hunters just nope out and are all, run! Yeah, I love that series.
Shit.
Not a series, but OVA, maybe? They were like 30-minute episodes. I'm not sure what you call that. Mini-series?
Yeah, it was really more of like an OVA.
The Wail of a Dying Coyote says, hey Razor, I was thinking about moving to Moscow, but there's no point in rushing into things.
How do you get up there again? I can't remember. Well, I guess... Aha!
Victor Phantasm says, Razor, no matter how much I
Whoa!
proved to my...
Woo!
No matter how much I proved to my brother The Last Jedi was crap, he still thinks it's alright. Please berate him.
Why? What is his argument? Based on what? Is it what is he like more? The fucking 5-hour runtime or the plot that goes absolutely nowhere? Is he like Luke Skywalker making lame, cringy jokes about fucking laser swords? Does he like that? Does he like Luke Skywalker sucking alien tit for some green milk? Is that... And fucking... Can I also... This is something hardly anyone has talked about with that movie. What in the fuck happened to Chewbacca in that movie? What in the fuck... Chewbacca was like the coolest character in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
He had a character arc, which was crazy, because Chewbacca never gets a character arc. You know, he lost his best friend, he had a cool, like, revenge sequence. he went full Rambo, and I just destroyed an ATST. Oh, nice, the pilot.
Nice.
Got it. That's right, bitch. That's right, bitch. Oh.
Henri Sorel says, would you bone Loxana Troy?
Not so much.
Maybe back in the 70s.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, the story behind... She was one of like 5 girls that Gene Roddenberry was banging at the time. I don't know why the fuck she married that lech. Did you know about that?
No.
Fucking, he was banging 3 chicks on the original Star Trek.
Wow.
He banged... He was... Okay, first off, he had his wife. Okay?
Majel.
No, she was not his wife at the time.
Oh.
He was banging Majel Barrett behind his wife's back. And he was banging Nichelle Nichols. He was banging fucking Uhura.
You're kidding me.
Like,
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
oh my god, Gene Roddenberry. And this is your feminist icon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on.
Let's see. Mute Gamer says,
Okay. I have no rockets, so I am just gonna jump on there. Look how huge this fucking level is. Keep in mind, we already had like a giant prelude before all this.
yeah.
And now we got a fucking giant tower that I gotta climb. Like this, ladies and gentlemen, was 1996 PC gaming design, and in many ways, modern games have not caught up to this.
Yeah.
Games like Thief, System Shock, Jedi Knight.
Mute Gamer says, hey guys, asked the question last stream, but House had a blackout before I could see it.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah, same guy, same question. EU that would make good movies. We already discussed that. I think he just donated twice. Also, I have a spare key for BattleTech. Do either of you need one?
I already donated, so I've already got my copy of BattleTech waiting for me. Did you pre-order it, Terangel?
No, I didn't get a chance to. I didn't have the ability to support in any way at the time. But, dude, if you want to send that to me over the Facebook, I'd be more than happy to take it off your hands. I appreciate it, too. Alex Seekman says, thoughts on the Trump-China tariff fiasco?
China. The tariff fiasco? I don't know. It seems like China and Trump are getting along. And honestly, you know what I think? I think the tariff thing, the timing is kind of interesting. Because you're going to be heading into the North Korea negotiations. And China's going to be a part of that. I mean, China. I think he's pushing the tariffs as leverage for the negotiation. I think he wants to have a hold card. Just my personal gut feeling. I think he's using it as a chess piece for those negotiations. So that it's something that he can give to China. Because he knows people in his own party are already against the tariffs. So if he, you know, it's kind of a gimme. It's something he can give to the Chinese and the North Koreans. Just my prediction.
Dennis Head says, favorite Japanese dish?
Oh, fuck. I really like anything oyako. I like, I love oyako teriyaki with fucking... I love how the Japanese use eggs. I really do. We, as Americans, as Westerners, do not use enough eggs in dinner food.
Alright, and Cole Knight donated $3.46. He doesn't say anything, but we appreciate it all the same. Thank you very much. Jesus. Gizmo Hibiki says, thought on Trump meeting with game devs. We already kind of discussed that. It's kind of a nothing burger.
It is nothing, Burger. It's... First off, if you were mad about this, you better have been pissed when Joe Biden did the exact same thing on Barack Obama's orders back in 2013. Actually, they went quite a bit farther than Trump has gone so far, so... Until it reaches that level, I don't know that you have a bitch. But second off, like I said, I never agreed with Trump on this issue. Plain and simple. Oh, what do you have to do here? I remember getting stuck on this part fucking royally.
Is that a switch? There you go.
Yeah, but... It's something more than that. What is this?
Alex Seekman says, will you ever re-upload the last Kingdom Come Deliverance stream?
I can't. It's copyrighted.
If it is at all possible. Also, thoughts on Kingdom Come's latest 1.3 patch and on Polygon blatantly lying and slandering Warhorse Studios.
God! They're just not even pretending anymore. They're absolute whores. Fuck.
Oh, it's some kind of like puzzle.
Ooh. Okay. I think you have to go up here and then crouch and get in here before you die. This is gonna suck. This is gonna suck. This is gonna suck. I'm dead.
Nuts. Couldn't you get, like, inside?
Wait. No.
Now you're dead.
I think I need to jump in, actually, is what... Oh, wait. No! I can just hide in here. I'm fucking retarded.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, he can't reach me.
And any thoughts on the 1.3 patch?
I have only played a little. It seemed to slow the performance down a little bit. Based on my experience. You guys saw on the stream, I was playing it on Ultra, having no issues, no slowdowns, no frame rate drops. I've had a few since the patch. So I don't know what they changed, but I'm not a big fan of it. I also am not a fan of what they did to the saves. I've said I don't agree with criticisms of the save system. I like that they kept it in universe. I like all that. I think it's kind of stupid and a cop-out and a bit of a betrayal of their original vision to,
Did they take out the limited saves?
yeah, they have like a save and quit feature now. Not a fan.
Cole Knight, oh, he did have a question. He says, castings and thoughts if they reboot the Star Wars OT? Original Trilogy? Is that what OT is?
Reboot the original trilogy?
Well, he says SWOT. I'm assuming that's Original Trilogy. Unless you know different.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want... Why would you want a reboot of the original trilogy? Why? If anything needs a reboot, it's the current trilogy, personally.
Space Marine says, gonna listen to the new Priest album and play Diablo 2. Good night, man. Do me a favor and don't waste this $5 on moon sugar. Khajiit did nothing wrong.
May you walk on warm sands.
Best Way Killer says, as someone who isn't part of the PC Master Race, do you think...
What is this? Ooh, we got some force powers.
Do you think Kingdom Come Deliverance would be worth it to pick up on console? Oh, the Old Republic.
I've heard the two versions, the PS4 version is a lot more buggy for some reason. I've heard the Xbox One version is more stable, but don't quote me on that because I haven't played it. That's just what I've heard.
No, not Old Republic. Original Trilogy. Yeah, I was right. Cutscene time. Why isn't this like a big fancy blue hologram?
I know!
The Valley of the Jedi will soon be mine.
Soon be mine. Jarek is the best. What is this guy's name, this actor? He's actually been in a lot of stuff. He's actually really good.
Saris, prepare the vengeance fire.
He kind of looks like Michael Ironside, but I know it's not Michael
No.
Ironside.
He was the villain in Hellbound. He was the villain in a lot of stuff, actually. It's on IMDb. I would have to look it up. What? Didn't I blow your fucking head off? Well, apparently
no, you blew
not.
his arm off.
Okay.
I should have aimed for your head when I had the chance.
I thought you did.
A lost opportunity.
I want the map, 88.
All yours, Kyle.
Oh, boss fight? What? Who the fuck are you? Darth Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
In all my years, I've only known dark Jedi, never one from the light side. Somehow I expected more.
Kurtwood Smith?
Kurtwood Smith? Yeah, it sounds right. No, it's not. It's
No.
not. The fucking...
Young.
The dad
A young
from
and
That
willing
70s Show?
Dark Jedi,
Hold on.
the newest addition to the cause. Brash and eager, he is ready to prove himself to his master at any cost.
Oh boy.
These elements make him a dangerous and unpredictable foe.
You are better than I thought.
Christopher Nime?
Might be it. I mean, you could just look it up on IMDb. Got him! One of the things I like about this game, the lightsabers do, like, equivalent damage.
Yeah.
It's not like... No, it's literally like 1 or 2 hits, and if you land a really good hit, it could be 1.
Kill me! Isn't that what you do to Dark Jedi?
Well, I'm still technically a smuggler.
That didn't look too bad, actually.
No, I believe that's in the trailer.
Asim Jessen says, afraid I must retire now. It's now 6 in the morning over here, and I have a long day in 2 hours. If you could design a film noir adventure game, how would you make it?
I like, one of the things that I've never understood, they don't really have, even in, like, the modern Sherlock Holmes games and stuff, is, like, a catalog of clues. I think if you were to make a noir adventure game, you would really need to center it, instead of centering it around nice-looking environments and have the emphasis be on, like, cutscenes and story, I would have the emphasis be on having lots of evidence and having to interpret how that evidence relates to the case. And having it be, like, so that... I talked about this on the LA Noire stream. Like, where in LA Noire, you would have, like, a specific item of evidence that you would have to break out in an interrogation, and if you picked the wrong one, it was like... Even if it made sense, it would still fuck you, you know what I mean? Like, say a guy killed someone with a gun, and then stabbed them with a knife, and you could confront them with the gun or the knife, and if you picked the wrong one, it was wrong, right? Which is bullshit. It should be either of those things. I would structure the game more like that, where... Whoa.
Cantapella asks, so how about that blue wave Ben Shapiro predicted in Texas, huh? What about his neocon politics pisses you off the most?
I think it's that because he's good at debating, people assume that he's like a standard bearer for conservatism. He's not, folks. He's not. He's George W. Bush, but short. And I think the thing you know what? The thing I hate the most about his politics is that him and a lot of never-Trumpers were suddenly libertarians. You know, you noticed that? When Trump suddenly was going to be the nominee, suddenly everyone was a principled libertarian. Even though for years, people like myself, people like Styx, were calling these guys out for being the neocon hacks they truly fucking were. For some reason, because Trump was the nominee, it was suddenly, oh, we've got to support Gary Johnson now because we're all fucking libertarians. It's like, no, blow me. You weren't libertarians for fucking shit. Shut your mouths. Where the fuck?
Alex Sheikman says, thoughts on the rumors of a PlayStation 5 reveal and the inevitable mass splurging from the sycophantic gaming press?
Oh, I don't know. It seems a little premature considering you just dropped the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
I don't know that I predict that would happen.
I tell you,
but they're definitely working on it. I mean,
if there's a PS5, that thing had better be the most impressive thing ever, because
PS4 was very anemic, very underpowered.
It better have full backwards compatibility. Probably modular, maybe.
I don't know about that. Whoa! Fucking TIE bomber.
The King Who Cared says, any chance of a music mythos for The Who?
Eek. Jesus. I'm not a big Who fan, so probably not. 60s rock doesn't do much for me.
Officer Donut says, do you like any metal bands that can be considered overly simple and repetitive, even as guilty pleasures? Personal favorite is Gravedigger. It's fucking hitting the side. That
Stupid
sucks.
thing.
Take it up higher, yeah.
Got it. All right. That was close. Do I have back to tanks? Yes, I do. We are gonna heal. Got it.
So, any overly simple, repetitive bands?
I like Gravedigger,
Okay.
but I don't consider them all that repetitive.
Anybody else?
I think I have to go down. Oh my, I see where I need to go. Oh dear! Here's some... Okay, I'm gonna pray to the platforming gods.
Don't miss.
Oh, that was awful! Okay! The platforming gods were not on my side, my friends.
So, no other bands?
A lot of people would call the Ramones repetitive. A lot of people would call Motorhead repetitive. They'd be wrong.
Yeah. Let's see. John Smith says, thoughts on the Frankfurt School?
Ah, Jesus. Of economics?
I'm assuming.
I tend to be more of that mind, personally.
Okay, cool.
Philosophically, I'm not like a strident
There's
adherent.
gotta be a better way to make a living.
Adherent of it or anything, but that tends to be more in my line of thinking. Wow. God, the immensity of these levels. The fucking size of them.
David Last says, if you want to recreate Stormtrooper aim in a video game, take the bow mechanics of Kingdom Come Deliverance and apply them to a blaster aim reticle.
I'm actually a lot better at the archery in Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's like I said when I was playing the game last time. The systems in Kingdom Come Deliverance, one of the things I appreciate about them, people say, oh, the archery sucks, or the combat sucks. They make these these blanket statements, and they're full of shit. These people are full of fucking shit, and they are revealing how full of shit they are when they say these things.
Oh, and people were saying the Frankfurt cultural Marxists, he means.
Oh no. I'm not that familiar with it though. So, sorry about that. I misunderstood your question.
Let's see. Panda Palace says...
I was talking more about, like... I assumed you were talking about, like, Austrian economics, things like that.
Ah. Panda Palace says, love your work, Razor. Deasphalt. So how about that blue wave in Texas? Oh, we already answered their question.
Why do people... I understand. Shapiro is fun to sick on your enemies, guys. Just don't take him too seriously. He does not have the best track record on predictions, especially.
Ted Kennedy's Tardy Doorman says, how tall is Terran? Let's see if you guys are hypocrites. Do you hate pineapple pizza and like chocolate-covered pretzels?
Oh, I hate chocolate-covered pretzels.
I'd like neither of those things.
Yeah, I don't like Hawaiian pizza either.
How tall
Hawaiian pizza is an affront to God.
I'm like... an inch shorter than Razor?
Ah! That could have gone better.
Yeah.
Did I save? Yes. Yeah, I'm about 6 foot, so he'd be about 5'11".
Something like that.
Somewhere thereabouts.
Kazakame says, with Kingdom Come Deliverance...
I don't know why people assumed I was short. I have no idea. I guess because I'm always sitting in my videos.
I guess.
I remember when I met with the guys who were organizing Kilroy, like before it was really named and before it was ready to go or whatever. There was like a picture of me standing and posing with them, and everyone was like, "What? I didn't know you were that tall." I was like, "What? Why? People just assumed I was fucking short?" The assumptions people, the extrapolations, the logical extrapolations people make based on a floating head on a computer screen.
Yeah.
It blows my fucking mind.
Kazakame, with Kingdom Come Deliverance's success, do you think more indie projects on a similar scale will come about?
Yes, absolutely. And more importantly, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance's success will inspire existing AAA studios to embrace those mechanics. They'll have to, or they'll not be considered state-of-the-art anymore. What the balls? All right. We got a rocket launcher guy. Did he just try to melee attack me with his rocket launcher?
Rodansk Alamir says, is it fair to call the Me Too movement pussy cushion?
Oh, also, this game was way ahead of its time. Check this out. You can turn off the HUD.
Nice.
Done. 1996, ladies and gentlemen, for all the studios that think turning off the HUD is fucking state-of-the-art. 1996, this was Game of the Year.
You guys, are you kidding?
What the dick?
He asks, is it fair to call the Me Too movement pussycution?
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Death by the pussy? It is for many people's careers.
It certainly is.
Ronnie Man says, what was that colonial RPG you recommended last time?
Greedfall!
And unfortunately there's no new details on that yet. I'd wait for E3 though.
I think they're mostly focusing on Werewolf the Apocalypse and Vampire right now.
Yeah, Vampire.
Is that out yet?
It's gonna be out, I think, either May or June. Probably June. Okay. I think it got pushed back to June.
Fuck. Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, I see. I need to go down. Ooh. Okay, Kyle. Squat, you little bitch. Do your squats. Don't skip leg day.
Jesse Poe.
There you go.
Jesse Paul V says, thoughts on the Force Unleashed?
I was never a fan. It was like the lame, modernized wannabe Jedi Knight. Just never fucking did it for me. I took quite a few shots at that game. What? Sticky rockets!
Blast him.
No! Okay, fine, I'm taking you with me.
Blast them.
You like that?
Yeah.
I took him with me.
Oh, it comes out in July.
Okay, let's try this.
So you said you didn't care for it?
Got him. Yeah, I never really cared for it. It was very cinematically driven, very linear. You know, the levels were really disappointingly small. It was, you know, it was a modern fucking action game.
Yeah. Man of the World says, hey, Terran Razor. Haven't fully caught your last stream before it was killed by effing YouTube, so not really sure if this hasn't been asked. Thoughts on the new Russian nukes? Godspeed, sirs.
They're not new. They just revealed what they have, which is, you know, basically ratifies everything that basically. Remember when Romney was debating fucking Obama, and Obama made that glib clip that the media played over and over again? You know, 1986 called, it wants its foreign policy back. You know what I mean? Kind of makes Obama look like even more of an asshole, which is saying something.
He has to be eating an apple at the same time.
Yeah.
Scarfy the Strange says, did you hear about Antifa getting ass kicked at the Sargon event?
Yeah, I'm not even sure exactly what the deal was with that event, but I did hear about it.
And Sargon ended up with their flag, so that's good.
What is it with the libs and playing capture the flag?
Yeah.
What is... You have to ask Shia LaBeouf about that one, I guess.
Scarfy the Strange also says, do you think it's time to look for a new Star Wars like how Trekkies found Orville? I'm not sure there's anything like Star Wars. Maybe Star Hunter?
Yeah, there is a new Star Hunter coming out. Is there... What do I need to do here? What is... Let me try and jump up. Let me see if I can. Not working.
Stranger Jack says, hey Razor, I had a pretty shit tonight.
Where do I need to go?
Oh, I had a pretty shit night. Thanks for being here to cheer me up, man. Oh, well, I'm glad we could be here for you. Have a little fun. Play some video games.
I don't know where I need to go.
Can you, like, force jump when it pushes you up, or... I don't know.
I feel like there's an elevator that I need to use, but the switch wasn't working. Do I have a key?
Razor button inside elevator. Try the pad in the elevator.
Oh, God, I didn't see it. My bad. By the way, I used to make Jedi Knight levels. It was the first game I ever did level editing on back in the day. I got really adept with, what was it called? What was the level editor called? I can't even remember.
Jan, how about a lift out of here?
On my way.
But I only made 1 or 2 levels, and I only finished one of them.
Oh.
Alright.
Objective completo.
Misu Kuprid! Get the fuck out of here. Right in the nick of time. You couldn't have taken a few pot shots at him? Nothing? You got a big old gun under there.
Risk destroying it. Losing that info.
Alright.
You want to call it here and read off the rest of the questions?
Yeah, sure. Oh, I got force pull!
And let's see. To finish up for the tonight, Victor Phantasm says, Razor, my brother thinks Leia being Mary Poppins is totally okay. Rey using lightsabers and Millennium Falcon is doable.
Right.
Purple hair going kamikaze.
It's about as doable as Rey.
Purple hair going kamikaze last minute instead of using the other ships was good.
Yeah.
Why would he think that?
I don't know. All I can think is maybe Rey gets paid per fat cell in her big fat fucking chipmunk face. What is going on with her head? Like, she's not getting that fat, but her head has, like, tripled in size. I'm afraid this girl has a brain tumor.
It's her ego.
Yep. It's her importance within this story.
Nam Nguyen says, Trump is a Rockefeller Republican.
Yeah.
Yay or nay?
No, I don't know about that. I think he's just a big money New York style Republican. I mean, that's another way of saying Rockefeller Republican. I recognize that, but I don't think he's ideological, like I said. I think he's pretty pragmatic. If we all push back hard enough against this bullshit video game nonsense, I think he'll leave off. I think he's kind of... Look, he's just got a stupid position on this issue. He's got a stupid position on a couple of issues. This is why I didn't support him in the primaries, right? This is why a lot of people didn't. But, you know, it is what it is. You don't get any perfect politicians. Doesn't happen.
Hardcore Bunny says, do you believe in life after death, or is there not?
I believe I don't know until I kick it.
Games for Funds says, check out ILHB 1465. Passed our Senate. Thoughts? I'm guessing that's the gun control thing.
Did it actually pass?
I heard some governor may have signed it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I had heard that the Florida governor was pushing a bunch of new gun legislation horse shit. Which, what the fuck, Florida? What the why do you keep voting for these goddamn neocons? What this shit? It's not much better than just voting in a Democrat, to be perfectly honest. At least a Democrat would have opposition from real conservatives.
Sergio Rubiclava says, do you think the System Shock remake will get made, or is it pretty much dead? I think it'll get made.
No, I think it'll get made just fine. It looks like...
They
made
wanted too much.
No, I don't even think that. I think they tried to make it too action-y. I think they wanted it to be a big seller, so they started going more and more AAA, more and more streamlined, less and less RPG, and what they wound up with looked an awful lot like BioShock in space.
Yeah.
And what we played on that demo felt a lot like BioShock in space. And I think they probably kind of stopped for a moment and realized they were moving in the wrong direction, and now they're just going to have to take what they have, say, okay, how much of this is salvageable? Can we take this and build it into a proper System Shock RPG in the style of System Shock 1? I think that's all they're doing. I really don't think they're going to run away with your Kickstarter money. All the hyperbolic fucking hemp-huffing retards who are all saying, oh, Night Dive Studios are going to run away with your cash. They've already made a bunch of games, guys. They're not fucking running off into the night with your Kickstarter cash. Fucking calm your tits.
Definitely. Black Raptor says, Razor, what is your favorite tribe from Werewolf the Apocalypse? Mine are the Silent Striders, myself. Even have the miniatures that were made of them.
Yeah, you and I are of one mind. That would be mine as well.
Ronnie Man says, the concept sounds entertaining. God fucking speed. Probably of something you were describing earlier. We'll watch this real quick before continuing.
I'm here for my well-deserved payment.
Sure. I'm sure that'll end well for him.
Why would a droid need money?
Oh, great timing, folks.
Perfect fucking timing.
Great timing.
We only had one more question anyway.
Good stuff. Wow, we were so close to getting fucked there.
Games for Funds says 18 to 20-year-olds illegal to own most semi-autos. HB 1465. It's the law.
Yep.
The one that regulates the gun ownership.
Yep.
God, that's so stupid.
I find that fucking retarded. You can join the military at 18, but you can't own a gun until 21. What are you supposed to use? A fucking slingshot in the Navy? What are you gonna do exactly? You can fight and die for our country holding a gun. You just can't own one privately. That's fucking horseshit. Bordering on tyranny, to be perfectly fucking blunt. That is deeply unconstitutional. And if Trump pushes it, tear his asshole asunder, vote him out of office. I don't fucking care. That is not remotely constitutional.
And I do believe that will do it.
All right, gang. Thank you all for joining us on RazörFist Arcade Live. It's good on this second stream we were able to actually get through a huge chunk of this game without it crashing. Sorry about the streaming issues. I love you, glorious fucks. And until next time, for Terran Gel, I am RazörFist. God fucking speed.